Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself at 80. You're sitting in your favorite chair, your body a little slower, but your mind alive with memories. What do you see? Is it a life filled with joy, love, and purpose? Or are there regrets, dreams left unrealized, relationships neglected, or opportunities missed? Now, here's the twist. The version of you at 80 is already being shaped today by the choices you're making, whether consciously or not. Think about that. Your future self is watching, waiting, hoping you make the decisions now that will bring them peace later. So the real question is, what kind of life are you building today for the person you'll be tomorrow? Stick around, because this episode might just change the way you think about your life forever. Welcome to the Pinch of Wisdom podcast, where we bring clarity, purpose, and practical inspiration to your everyday life. I'm your host, Cleon Vera, and today's episode is about something we rarely talk about but can't afford to ignore. What it means to live a life so intentional, so fulfilling, that when you look back at 80, you'll feel pride instead of regret. This isn't just about planning for retirement or setting long-term goals. It's about the small, everyday choices that quietly shape your future self. We'll explore 10 powerful ways to start creating a life your future self will thank you for, starting right now. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, let me share a story that changed how I think about life. A few years ago, I was visiting a retirement community for a volunteer project. I sat down with a gentleman named Mr. Harris, an 82-year-old former professor with sparkling eyes and a wit sharper than most people half his age. He shared stories of his youth, his adventures, his mistakes, and his proudest moments. At one point, I asked him what advice he'd give to his younger self. He leaned forward, looked me square in the eye, and said, "Decide who you want to be at 80 and start living like that person today." That hit me like a lightning bolt. It's easy to live day to day without thinking about where those days are taking you. But every choice we make is a step toward the person we'll become. So, let's take a closer look at how we can start living intentionally now to shape the future we want. 1. Add value to yourself. Mr. Harris also told me, your mind is like a garden. What you plant is what grows. That stuck with me. Think about this. Are you feeding your mind with things that help you grow, or are you letting weeds take over? Here's what you can do today. Pick one new skill to learn this month. It could be as simple as improving your cooking or learning a new software. Set a goal to read one book every month. Start with something that challenges your thinking, like a biography or a book on personal development. These small investments compound over time, creating a wealth of knowledge and skills that your 80-year-old self will thank you for. 2, prioritize your health. I know it's cliche to say, your health is your wealth. But let's be real. The habits you build now, eating well, staying active, and getting enough sleep, are the building blocks of your future vitality. Start with these small changes. Swap one sugary snack for a healthier option today. Take a 20-minute walk after dinner and use that time to reflect. Create a bedtime ritual to ensure you get at least 7 hours of sleep. Your body doesn't stay young forever, but with the right habits, you can ensure it supports you well into your later years. 3, build a strong marriage and home if you choose to marry. Home isn't just a place, it's the people you share it with. If you choose to marry, your marriage can become one of the most significant sources of joy, support, and purpose in your life. But a strong marriage doesn't happen by chance. It's built through intentional actions, mutual respect, and consistent care. If you're married or planning to marry, here are a few simple ways to nurture that relationship. Make time to connect every day, even if it's just a short conversation over coffee or a walk together in the evening. Small moments of connection keep the bond strong. Express appreciation for your partner regularly. A simple "thank you for being you" can go a long way in fostering intimacy and warmth. Talk openly about your dreams, concerns, and even the mundane details of your day. Honest communication builds trust and understanding. Life will throw its share of challenges your way, but facing them together with empathy and patience can strengthen your partnership. If you're single or choose not to marry, focus on building meaningful relationships that bring joy and support into your life. Deep connections with friends, family, or a close-knit community can be just as fulfilling and grounding. Whether you're sharing your life with a partner, family, or cherished friends, the key is the same. Be intentional about cultivating those relationships. At the end of the day, it's the people we invest in who make life truly rich and rewarding. 4, earn a good name. There's an old saying that has always stuck with me. A good name is better than riches. It's such a simple truth, yet it holds so much power. Think about the people you admire most. What do you respect about them? Chances are it's not just their achievements or wealth, it's their character. Your reputation is like a bank account. Every time you act with kindness, honesty, and integrity, you make a deposit. Every time you break a promise, treat someone unfairly, or let your temper get the best of you, you're making a withdrawal. Here's the thing. Money and possessions might fade, but your reputation stays with you. It's the legacy you leave behind. So, how do you build a good name? Keep your word. If you say you'll do something, follow through. Even small promises matter. Be kind, even when it's hard. It's easy to be kind when things are going well, but true character shines in challenging moments. Exceed expectations. Whether it's at work, at home, or in your community, always aim to go the extra mile. Here's a question to reflect on. What do you want people to say about you when you're not in the room? Live today with that answer in mind. 5, get involved in your community. Let me tell you a story about a man named Mr. Benson, a retired carpenter in my neighborhood. After his retirement, he could have chosen to live quietly, keeping to himself, but instead, he became the heart of the community. He started mentoring young people who wanted to learn woodworking, organized neighborhood cleanups, and volunteered at the local food pantry. Mr. Benson once told me, when you give to your community, you're not just helping others, you're creating a support system for yourself. And he was right. His life is rich with friendships, respect, and purpose. So, how can you get involved? Volunteer. Whether it's at a school, a shelter, or a local charity, giving your time makes a difference. Join a group. Look for clubs, faith organizations, or social groups that align with your interests. Be a connector. Introduce people who might benefit from knowing each other. Small gestures can create a ripple effect of positivity. When you invest in your community, you're not just making it better for others. You're creating a circle of support that will be there for you when you need it. 6, seek wisdom and live by it. Wisdom is one of the most underrated superpowers. It's not just about knowledge, it's about understanding how to apply it in a way that improves your life and the lives of others. Here's the key. Wisdom often comes from 2 sources: experience and learning from others. You can either learn the hard way through your own mistakes or the easier way by listening to people who've been there before. Start seeking wisdom today by talking to elders. Ask them questions like, what's one thing you wish you'd done differently? Or what advice would you give to someone my age? You'll be amazed at the insights they share. Reading broadly, books, articles, and biographies are treasure troves of wisdom. Don't limit yourself to one genre. Explore philosophy, history, and personal development. Reflecting regularly. Take 10 minutes at the end of each day to ask yourself, what did I learn today? What could I have done better? Wisdom isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about living with purpose and clarity. Make it a habit to seek it out and apply it daily. 7, manage your finances wisely. I once met a retired teacher who shared something that stuck with me. She said, in your younger years, money is about freedom, but in your later years, it's about security. Financial security doesn't just happen, it's built one small, intentional choice at a time. Here's where to start. Budgeting. Know where your money is going each month. It's amazing how much clarity you gain when you track your spending. Saving. Start small if you have to, but be consistent. Even $20 a week can grow into a significant cushion over time. Investing in the future. Learn the basics of investing and make your money work for you. Retirement accounts, stocks, or real estate can provide long-term stability. Here's a practical tip. Set aside a future fund. Every time you get a bonus, a tax refund, or even just a little extra cash, put some of it into savings. Your 80-year-old self will thank you for the peace of mind. 8. Cultivate a hobby. Hobbies are more than just a way to pass the time. They're a source of joy, creativity, and identity. I remember meeting a woman in her 70s who had taken up painting after retiring. Her home was filled with her artwork, each piece vibrant and full of life. She told me, "Painting gave me a reason to get out of bed every morning." What hobby lights you up? Maybe it's something you loved as a child but haven't touched in years. Or maybe it's something you've always wanted to try but never made time for. Here's how to start. Pick something you're curious about. Don't worry about being good at it. Just start. Set aside time each week. Treat it like an appointment. Share it with others. Join a group or club to meet people who share your passion. Your hobby doesn't have to be life-changing. It just has to bring you joy. And that joy will carry you through every stage of life. 9. Help someone else succeed. True greatness isn't about what you achieve. It's about the impact you have on others. Think about the people who've helped you along the way. What would your life look like if they hadn't? Here's how you can pay it forward. Mentor someone. Share your knowledge and experiences with someone just starting out. Support a friend's dream. Encourage them, offer advice, or simply be their cheerleader. Give without expecting anything in return. Sometimes the smallest gestures, like a kind word or a piece of advice, can change someone's life. When you help others succeed, you create a legacy of kindness and support that extends far beyond your own life. 10. Nurture your spiritual life. We're not just physical beings, we're spiritual ones too. And as we age, the spiritual side of life often becomes even more significant. Nurturing your spiritual life doesn't have to mean following a specific religion. It's about finding meaning, purpose, and connection. Here's where to start. Practice gratitude. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. Reflect on your purpose. Ask yourself, what gives my life meaning? Spend time in nature. There's something profoundly grounding about connecting with the natural world. Your spiritual life is like the foundation of a house. When it's strong, it supports everything else. So let's reflect. What's one habit you can start today to care for your future self? Who do you need to reconnect with to strengthen your relationships? If your 80-year-old self could speak to you now, what advice would they give? Every choice we make today builds the life we'll live tomorrow. The question is, are we building with intention or just letting life happen to us? My challenge for you this week is to pick one of these steps and act on it. Start small, but start now. Share your progress with us on social media using the hashtag #PinchOfWisdom. I'd love to hear how you're shaping your future. Until next time, remember, time is precious. Make it count. See you soon.